Okay, let's see. All right, good evening, everybody. How are you?
For me, good
Can
morning.
everybody hear me? All right,
Yes.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon for anybody in the middle. Okay, fantastic.
Hello.
Hello, okay. I hear some background noise. Again, as a reminder, let's please go ahead and mute our background noise. Right. As a reminder, if your microphone has a lot of background noise, let's go ahead and turn it off. I'm gonna, out of respect for everybody else, I'm gonna mute people who are making a lot of background noise. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue. So today, I think we already have a lot of people already getting started. I'm gonna welcome everybody. Thank you. So our class from now is going to be expressions, and we're going to talk today about important life moments. This morning we had a comedy class, then I had a very serious debate class. So we're going to finish the evening with discussing important moments in our life. Okay? So let's go ahead and take a look who we have here. We have Wolf again. It's good to see you, sir. How are you?
Who?
Tim, are you there, buddy?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, it's good to see you, sir. And Salim, are you there?
Yes, Matthew.
Okay, wonderful. And let's check who else we have here. Raiz, are you there?
Yes, sir, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Raiz, where are you from?
I'm from India. I'm here in New Delhi.
Oh, wonderful. India and in New Delhi. It's great to have you, sir.
Yes.
And then Mahmoud is back, and so is Luis. Luis, how are you doing, sir?
Hello.
Mr. Ustakio, are you there? A little quiet. And Mr. Solano is back. Mr. Solano is back, and
Yes,
we
I'm
also
here.
have El Bruce is here. I can see you, El Bruce. And Diego, are you there, sir?
Hello. How are you?
Doing
Can you hear me?
Yes, doing wonderful. How are you doing, sir?
I'm fine, thanks.
Great. And what country are you from?
Brazil.
Brazil. Which city?
I live in a small city called Sertanópolis. It's about 500 kilometers, São Paulo.
Okay, wonderful. And then, of course, we have Brenda here as well. Brenda, it must be so late over in Argentina now.
Yes.
Okay, well, all the same, grateful to have you here. Those of you, somebody noticed earlier, I switched to my pajamas because it is a little late in the evening. I hope you don't mind if I'm dressed casual. Let's go ahead and begin. So our discussion today is about important life moments. These are the special moments in your life where things changed forever. And I think it's a good time to finish on my lessons for the day, actually on this topic, because it's important for us to keep in mind that we've accomplished a lot, that we've and that we change as we get older, and maybe before some of us go to bed, it's important to reflect a little bit on how we became who we are. So today's topic, we are just going to talk about, in English we would say, life-changing moments, or another phrase would be life, excuse me, life changers, or another slang word for this would be game changers, because it changes the game of your life. It changes the rules. Okay, game changer. Okay, so let's begin over with Tim. Tim, let's go ahead and discuss. Now, are you a university student now, or did you finish university?
I finished university.
And what did you major in?
I finished business administration.
And I have a question for you. Why did you decide to major in that field of study?
Actually, I think it was a mistake because I'm not working in business administration.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think if I had one more opportunity, I think I would choose another subject.
And why is that?
Why is that? Because my mind is different at the moment. Because it's 6 and 7 years ago, I'm a different person. I'm looking in a different perspective, and I look in the world in different perspective. And now I'm looking in the world in a different perspective. A lot of things is changing my life.
That's very interesting, and I like that you're very honest. That you say you're a different person than you were before. What helped you change into this different person?
Actually, if you look at the in general in this topic, I think 5 is important things we can see. Today you were born, today you found a job, today you married, today you had kids, today you died. And 5 things is in generally is very important and it's a big part in once in life. Am I right? I think I don't know.
I think so. To be honest, I think maybe we all are different people than we were. I began university 7 years ago in 2005. I'm 26, so not super old, but old enough to look back a little bit. And I began.
You look great.
Oh, thank you so much. Wow. Wait. Tim, are you trying to flatter me?
No, just I'm saying you are the boss.
Yeah, I like that. I'm gonna put that on Facebook later. Oh, anyway, I think that's why I've decided to bring this up as our discussion today, is because we do change over time. 7 years ago, I believed that I believed different things when I was 18 than now that I'm 26 and a little older. For example, at 7 years ago, I did not expect I'd be a teacher. I believed that I would become an abogado, a lawyer, like all politics students. And then suddenly I realized I hated working in a courtroom. And so I changed. But that's for another time.
Who knows what the future holds?
That's right. So
yeah, because for example, a lot of maybe in the future you have a kids, you become a father, but you think it's very different. You become a different person. You know, something like that. Yeah.
Yes, and I think that'll be the topic for today. Salim, what about you, sir? What is an important moment for your life that changed things for you and helped you grow as a person?
I'm guessing that when I had my son.
Salim, you're a dad?
Yes, I am.
That's cool. What was that like? I'm so curious.
I mean, at first, when I first heard the news, it was a little bit scary because I wasn't expecting it. But slowly I get used to it, and then when he was born and afterwards, afterwards it was kind of difficult to understand why I was scared in the first place.
Oh.
So it was great. It was. He brought a lot of luck to us. I could not say anything negative about it, but right now, of course, he is destroying the house. That's the only issue.
Salim, how old is your son?
2 years old right now.
Oh, he's at that age where he's biting and destroying everything.
Exactly.
Fantastic. And what's his name?
Burke.
Burke? Oh, that's a strong name. That's better than Matthew. He's going to become a very big, strong guy. I have a thought so.
I hope so. Yeah.
Yes. And so it changed anything. How? In what way do you think it changed you?
In what way? I'm less scared of the future. I don't know. I mean, now I have more responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of scaring me at first, but now I'm not scared about that at all. So
that's actually very reassuring. Eventually, someday, if my mother has her way, I will be a dad. But of course, I think every guy my age wants to be a dad, but is a little terrified. So it's reassuring for me to hear that. Raiz, what about you, sir? We're talking about moments that changed us or helped us grow as individuals. What was a big moment for you that changed your life? Raiz, are you there?
Who?
Are you there, Raiz? Hello? Can you hear me, Raiz? No? Okay. Moving on. Mahmoud, are you back from breakfast?
Yep.
Fantastic. How come I can't see you?
I don't know. My camera not working.
Oh, that's unfortunate. So, aside from your current situation in Syria, what was a big life-changing situation for you in your 16 years of life?
Well, I don't know. There's many events happened.
So, when you decided to leave Syria to go to the UAE, was it a quick decision or was it a slow decision?
Actually, I born in UAE.
You were what?
I born in UAE.
Oh, that's right. You were born in the UAE?
Yeah.
Fantastic. I didn't know that. So you're actually a UAE citizen?
No, not yet.
Oh, that's right. They don't have a citizenship by birth. It's by parent.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Eventually, though. So I think you still have some growing to do. Maybe you will have your life-changing decision this year because you're 16 now.
Well, I think my life will change when I'll be 18 because I'm in years of teen. The official age is 18. So.
What's your big plan?
I don't know. Go to college, start studying, then thinking about my work.
Ooh, I think I'm a little excited for you. I think you and your brothers are probably kind of super guys, a little bit. Oh,
Why?
I think you have a bright future ahead of you. So I look forward to finding out. Oh, we have somebody new. Liz, Miss Rubio, are you there? Can you hear me? Liz Rubio? I don't think she can hear us yet.
Hi.
I will come back to her. Oh, fantastic. Can you hear me, ma'am? Señora Rubio, escúchame. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, fantastic.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Where are you from?
Oh, I'm from Peru. Oh, Peru
Oh,
is South America.
of
Yeah.
course. Are you from Lima or what other city?
Trujillo, La Libertad.
Is it in the north or the south of Peru?
Yeah, in the north.
Ah, okay. I know the area. That's a kind of a rural or countryside area. Am I correct?
Yeah, you're
Mm-hmm.
correct.
All right.
Have you ever been there?
No, but I studied your country's politics for when I was in
Oh,
graduate school. So maybe I learned
maybe
about.
maybe,
Go ahead.
maybe about Fujimori.
Por por supuesto,
Yeah, everybody knows
and
about him. Yeah.
Ollanta Humala and
Oh, okay.
yeah, one president. Uh-huh. Okay, so it's fantastic to have you here. Our discussion right now is life-changing moments, a time in your life where you made a decision that changed everything. And that's what our discussion is. So, can you think of a time where you made a choice that changed everything in your life?
Well, when I was studying in law in my country, and I have to decide if I wanted to stay there or travel to United States. Actually, I'm living here in United States. So,
¿Qué estado?
yeah.
Which?
District of Columbia.
Are you studying at George Washington or American University?
I'm gonna I'm going to study in GDC Community College.
Okay.
Yeah, but I have to this Friday. I have to take my TOEFL exam, so I'm scared about that.
Vaya con Dios, mija.
Thank you.
No problem. I think that was a big life-changing decision to leave your country and come to America.
Yeah, it was.
But DC is a beautiful place. I love Washington DC.
Yeah, it's nice. I like it.
I think so. Well, we're going to come back to you in a little bit. Larsan, are you there, sir?
Yes.
How are you, buddy?
I'm fine. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I can hear you very well. So, Larsan, we're talking about events in our life that changed everything. What is something that changed in your life? That a decision you made that changed your life?
I can remember now when I was about 17 years old. I had to decide to if going with my sister to study in Riobamba in the university, but I didn't want to move to Riobamba because I didn't want to live together with my sister. Really that influence or changed many things.
I think so. I made a similar decision too when I was a little younger, not to live with my sister, because I actually have a twin sister, believe it or not. But
oh man,
it's hard to live with a sister.
Yeah, I love her, but I cannot live with her. I love her, but I cannot do that. It's not possible. I don't think so. God help me. I'm sorry? I heard somebody. Oh.
Is she a teacher also?
No, she works actually in finance and banking, so she's a banker now.
Oh, different.
Yeah, so
different life.
Yeah, different life makes a lot of money. I think so.
That's good.
I think so. She's happy, so I'm happy for her. So, Mr. Solano, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
So, what is your life-changing decision that you made when you were younger?
Oh, to start the university. It is my first year. So, I remember that I want to study graphic design, but I couldn't. So now I'm studying English teaching. But when I was a child, I remember again that I want to be a teacher. So that is that I'm doing.
So you're an education major, am I correct?
Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
Good.
But I would like to study graphic design.
That's wonderful.
But
But
yes. and I don't know what else. I don't know. That's it.
Yeah, I think that's a very difficult choice. You know, actually, I was not an education major when I
Yeah.
was an undergraduate. I was political science.
But do
Uh,
you want to study another major? Another career?
uh, at that, well, no, I would not change my major. I think I made the correct one, but originally I was political science because I was preparing to enter to become an abogado, a lawyer,
Yeah.
and
Me too.
then I began to we call it an internship. I interned with a law firm, and I hated the courtroom. It was very boring to me.
Okay.
I
So
really did not like it. So I loved government and politics, but I did not like courtrooms. So I wanted a way that I could still be in politics but not be a lawyer. And so I became a school teacher, which is a different strange story because in America school teachers are usually not involved in politics.
You don't like courtroom?
It's just not my taste. It's not
Yeah,
my preference.
I don't. I have no idea in United States, but in some countries, in the lawyers, is two kind of lawyers. The one just joining the courtrooms. The others just making just paperwork. You know.
Yeah, there's a
Maybe it's
contract
for you,
lawyer.
but I have no idea in United States.
Yeah, it's the same, and of course, a contract lawyer for me would be so aburrido, so
yeah,
boring.
Yeah.
so for
You
me,
can't.
I really like education, but I think my life is in the graphic design.
I think so.
So
And hey, maybe that is a decision you can make when you go to graduate school if you go for a master's degree.
yeah, but I want to keep with English teaching.
There's nothing wrong with that. As we'll talk when I share my story, as we'll
Yeah.
talk, it's possible to do both. Bruce, are you there, sir?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, it's the first time I see your face. How are you doing?
Fine, you.
Elbrus has been in 3 of my classes today, and this is the first time I've seen his face. This is fantastic.
Yeah.
So, sir, what was a life-changing moment for you? A life-changing decision?
For me, I have two different lives, and before the army, after army.
Ah, you're in the army.
Army. Ew.
Yes. If you're Turkish people, you must go to army.
Ah, that's right. You have we say in English we say that's a draft or
Obligation.
conscription. Those are the 2 words for an army. You're obliged to join the army.
Yes. Yes.
The United States used to have a draft, but we don't have one anymore.
If you want, you can go.
For a while, actually, believe it or not, I was an army student.
Really?
How was it?
I loved it. It was wonderful. We call it a military cadet. It means I was training to be an officer. So I was going to be I was going to pay for university by being a military officer, but that was one of my life decisions to instead be a teacher.
What did you learn?
Oh,
What did you learn?
Oh, you learned similar probably to my friend who did his Turkish military service. You learn military science. You learn about military strategy, the chain of command, leadership skills, a lot of mathematics and science.
Oh my
I
goodness.
don't like mathematics.
I hate. It's not for me to work with numbers.
I prefer letters and design.
So I'll talk about that in a bit. Diego, how are you, sir?
I'm fine, thanks.
What about you, Diego? First off, what country are you from?
Brazil,
Brazil, in which state?
Paraná.
Paraná, wonderful. And I wanted to ask you, what was an important moment for you when you changed your life?
I guess it was when I started university. I guess I got more mature about making decisions, and it was really great for me because I could find a new way of facing problems and and growing up myself as well.
Oh, that's great. And what's your major in university?
Liberal arts.
Ah, great. So a little mix of a bunch of different liberal disciplines.
Yes, but focused more in languages. I learned Portuguese and English at university.
Fantastic, fantastic. So you're more of a linguist then.
Yes, and also literature, but literature is not my cup of tea.
Not your cup of tea. Oh, I love that expression. Not my cup of tea means not my my specialty or my taste.
Not
Right?
my
Cup of tea. Oh.
Yep. Cup of tea equals my special. If I say it's not my cup of tea, that's an expression that means like it's not my thing. I don't like it.
Did I use it correctly?
Yes, you used it perfectly correct.
But it is like slang or
It's a kind of old expression, like a old folk expression. It means like it means it's not something that I like. It means maybe some other people like it, but it's not my thing. Like
Like it's not my business.
yeah, it's not my
my
business, not my interest.
like
Yeah, I agree with Rebecca.
Okay.
I like this expression.
cup of tea.
Mm-hmm. And Christian brings up another one, cool beans. That means just cool. And lastly, Brenda. So Brenda,
Cool
what is
beans.
a special life moment that changed everything for you?
In my life, I
Yes,
think that it was when my father died,
Mm.
because in that year I dropped college and I dedicate my time to work. And so 2 years later, another decision that that changed my life was to come back to college.
Mm.
So
And that probably was a difficult decision because
yeah,
once
it
you
was.
leave, it's hard to come back.
Yes, I remember that I cry all the day when I drop college
Mm.
because I don't want to do it, but I have to. So
That must have been a very, very hard decision, but
yes,
happy that you could be. I'm happy that you were able to return.
yes.
Brenda, when was that your dad died?
Sorry,
When was that your daddy died?
2 years ago.
Cheers.
Yes, actually, I start college because I don't know how to say this, but okay. Like I have, a tough moment in my life. I couldn't finish high school like every teenager. I have to study to get my diploma uh, at night. I went to an I don't know how to say, escuela nocturna.
A night
Night
school?
school?
Yes, and I get my degree. So when I'm 20, I almost 26 now. So when I decide, at that time I have almost like 23 years old, I decide to, be an English teacher, and
That's
that is
really cool.
why I get to college, and that is the year when my father died. So it was a tough year, but now everything, is getting better. So
Do you live alone now?
now I live with my family, with my
Oh,
mother and my sister.
That's great.
So
And now
that's
you are a
nice.
teacher?
sorry.
Now you are a teacher?
No, 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 no. I'm studying.
Okay. Okay.
She's
I want to be an
studying to
English
be
teacher.
she's studying her to be an English and an
Yes.
education major to teach English language.
Yeah.
If I remember correct. Yes, that's yeah, and I think thank you for sharing. That's I mean, it's one of the hardest things because to have to go back or to try to go back to school. And I guess it's only fair. I share a decision too.
Tough,
For,
tough, tough times
yeah,
require tough people.
that's right. That's right. For me, I can share a recent decision I made. Until recently, I was living in Louisiana, which is a state next to Texas. I was teaching at Louisiana is a very poor American state, and I was helping teach at maybe one of the poorest, most at need high schools in the state of Louisiana. It was an alternative school as well. It had students who had been convicted of and had done prison terms, and it's a rough school. But I liked the work, even though sometimes it meant I had to be a kind of a tough teacher. Because in Louisiana, their budget is not so good for schools. So like in Texas, we have special teachers for like people who have a learning disability or children who are psychologically traumatized or violent. In Louisiana, they just put them all together in the same.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so I had to. I taught all of them that way, and I loved them with con todo mi corazón, with all my heart.
Which subject did you teach there?
I taught 7th grade science, 8th grade science, 9th grade science, 10th grade science, 11th grade science, 12th grade science.
Everything is science.
It was 6 grades, and it was okay. But I mean, it was rough. For example, I could show you, but I'm actually. I broke up some fights sometimes with the students because the different members who maybe were violent kids, the kids who had some deep psychological problems. It's not their fault. It just that happens. They would get in a fight. Well, their family, or maybe a disorder or anything, and I would have to break the fight up. So So actually, believe it or not, I'm missing teeth in the back of my mouth because they were broken while breaking a fight between two or three of my students.
Poor.
But and Brenda, this is something you need to consider. If you go teach, sometimes you need to teach. If you teach in a poor rural area, sometimes you have to be willing to endure some hardship. But my difficult choice was. For me was I moved to Louisiana. I had a house in Louisiana. I was developing a life in Louisiana, but obviously I'm in Texas right now. What happened? Well, I was asked to become I don't know how to say in Spanish, but in English it's called a campaign director. There was as you know, as you know, in America, our elections for the president and the Congress, el presidente y el Congreso, they were this year. And one of the candidates for Congress, he needed a campaign director, so he needed another campaign director. So I was offered the job, and they asked me to come home to Texas to help him fight to win the election. And my difficult decision was I resigned my teaching position to go back into politics and be one of his campaign directors. Of course, I'm a political science major. It's my career is half teaching, half government. So
may I ask which party was it?
Sure. I mean, it's public knowledge, so I can't. Democratic Party, El Partido Democrata. Yeah.
Obama.
But actually, historically, I've worked for a Democrat and a Republican. I've worked for both elected officials.
Okay.
Because there's good members in both parties. I think so. But this time, I was helping a Democratic candidate because. He was a Latino candidate in running for one of my Texas congressional districts, because my Texas has 38 seats in Congress. It's a lot of seats. So he was running for one of them, and of course I love my home state, Texas, very much. So I made a very difficult decision to come home, and I resigned my teaching position and went to be one of his campaign office directors.
It's a hard truth because Texas is a Republican people. 80%, I think, is choose Republican. It's not
Oh,
Democrat.
actually, oh no, not 80%. It's
No,
maybe no, not at all.
just
It's very it's a state that's incredibly, and it's a state that, and I say this as a political scientist, not as any party member. It's a state that's very complicated, very very complex
I
state.
just I saw in the newspaper. I'm
Oh
not
no,
against
it's
that.
statistically no state is 80% either party. Even New York is not 80% Democrat, and California is not 80%
Yeah,
Democrat.
paper is separate in the map as a also in Texas is for Republican. Yeah,
This
some
past time,
New
this
York, for
past time,
example, New York is Democrats.
yes,
Is
yes.
a
Tim,
majority
Tim,
people.
Tim.
That's what we see when we watch the news.
Yes, but we have I guess to talk about that. Yes, the way our system works is a state will go for one candidate or another. It's not popular vote. It's the electoral college. So the Republican candidate won my state for the presidency, but for the Congress, the Democrats won the congressional seats because the Latino population in Texas is very big, and they voted in very large numbers. And almost Obama won Texas, which is only because of the Latino voters, of course. But I think my home state is not going to be competitive for the presidency for the Democrats for a long time. It'll take, I think, 8 years before Texas could become for the Democrat for the presidency. But for Congress, of course, it's much easier, I think so, because you can win a congressional seat without winning the state. But anyway, that was my difficult decision.
What do you think about the fiscal cliff for the next year?
Makes me scared.
Oh, really?
But I don't regret. I think our candidate was. I don't want to say his name because I think it's not appropriate for teaching area. But he did a good. I was proud to get him into Congress and or help. I for my small part that I did. And because I wasn't the only director. There were about 3 or 4, and it was. I don't regret doing it, but I was so nervous when I was driving from Louisiana. I thought, if we don't win this election, and I resigned my teaching position only to lose, it's kind of terrible. So it was my big it was my big risk. My big
challenge.
Yeah, but I felt like I was gambling. Because the district that we were running in was what's called a swing district. That means it's a congressional district that's 50% Republican, 50% Democrat. So either side could win. So I was so scared, oh, maybe, but well, not scared, but I was eager, but I was so proud to help him get there. It was my first time to help with a congressional race. Of course, I'm pretty young, so I never had that opportunity before. That was my big life-changing moment recently. That's why I'm back home in Texas now. So.
It's like such a good experience.
Lord, I think so, because and that's why I said that my candidate was I came back because I believed, I knew his policy stances in government, and I really, really thought he will be an excellent representative for my state in Congress, and now he will be, so I'm very proud that he will represent Texas in the U.S. Congress, regardless of party, whichever party he would have been in, but I think he's a great man. He'll do a good job. But that was my life decision. So I think we have covered. Everybody sort of has had some very difficult choices. I think Tim has talked about his major, that if he could go back, maybe he would pick a different one. And Selim has talked about the challenge, but also the happiness he's had with his son, which makes me feel more relaxed.
That is sorry.
Yes.
Is my for individual people is a for me is a change. The moment in the changing in my life is a watershed in my life. Is a just not is so important. For me, is important in politics. For the politics is important for in the world. I think it's important for influencing everybody. If you look at the as a history, for example, some people change their lives and changing also is in the world, like prime ministers, prophets. For example, I don't know, is not for Adolf Hitler, for example, also changing in the world is a take the influence. In the bad way is some people change in a good way. Some people that change in the
Also
world
changing the
is a
political.
very bad way.
Hmm. Maybe.
Yeah,
But to be honest, I'm not a very, even though it sounds crazy because I've worked in the state government and helped with Congress, but believe it or not, working in government is only half of my interest. I'm not nearly as political as as I guess maybe some person would expect me to be because I'm also a teacher. I think, as you know, majority of politicians are
no,
businessmen
don't take
and
personally.
lawyers.
No,
Oh
don't
no,
take person.
I'm talking different subject.
Yeah, no, I'm
Uh,
talking different. I mean, okay, for you, for other people who works in the politics in a
uh,
politics line, okay, for example, someone is a representative who represents the one party, but is they try to influence the other parties, other
hmm
peoples, you know.
Yeah, I think so, and that I think, and it's very important. But and for me, I think it's maybe half of my life is dedicated to that, and the other half is education. I think it's always good to have a if you remain too deep into political theory, I think you sort of become lost from day to day life. That's just my opinion. That's one reason people are so shocked. They're like, "Oh, you worked for to help get a guy elected. You worked in a political campaign. Don't you just live and breathe politics?" Sometimes. The other time, I like teaching lessons and grading students and uh, all of those things that entail being a teacher. I think so. Just like my friend over, just like my friend Mr. Solano, he's an education major, but he also loves graphic design. I think he will have a similar situation where he will kind of be in two careers. He loves both equally. I
Yeah,
think
but
so.
Do you
yeah.
try
So
to
I'm
do you
sorry.
try to make minds when you're teaching?
If I'm teaching political science, no. I think it's. I always teach neutral. I don't think it's a good idea to teach with a bias. In social studies, in social studies, I think it's wrong to teach with a bias. I mean, it depends on the teacher's opinion, but me personally, that's one reason I hide my personal beliefs. Even like with you guys, I will not specifically say I definitely like this or I definitely don't because I think it's not the role of a teacher to try to
Influence
unfairly,
them.
yeah,
Yeah.
influence. You should show both sides.
Okay, your major is a politics science. Can I ask you one question
Sure.
about politics? Okay. Do you think the country will be better off or worse after 4 years from now?
As an American, I'm always optimistic, so I believe no matter what, my country will be okay.
Now it's a
Okay.
class about politics.
Yeah. But let's go ahead and give some other opportunities for individuals. Don't let me talk too much, dear Lord. Us us political people, we just love talking. Don't let me do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys know. Come on, we're all from countries with a lot of politicians who love to talk, right? So
Yeah.
I wanted to ask Liz, what do you notice so far? A big difference between, you made this very big life decision to move from Peru to Washington D.C. What's the
Yeah.
biggest change that you've had to face? What's the biggest challenge you've had so far?
So far, get my major, and well, I'm not sure because in my country I was studying law, and here, you know that the subjects are very different because the laws is so different. So I think that I'm going to study psychology, but I already applied for law in environment, but
Environmental law?
yeah, environmental law. Yeah, but I'm going to change it for psychology because I think that I can convalidate um I mean
Combine.
Convalidate.
combine,
Convalidate.
yeah, combine some subjects that I took in my country, so like psychology, general psychology.
You think you can
Hmm.
transfer some of those credits?
Yeah, yeah. So, and well, the first time that I came here, my English wasn't good. So I tried to
Hmm.
speak with native speakers, and also but right now I'm studying English in at Meditech in a school here. So that's why I improve my grammar, listening, and writing. But I need to speak more to practice my
Did you
speaking.
find some? Okay, did you find some difficulty with the language when you get in Washington D.C.?
Yeah, especially with when African American, yeah, because they speak very different. They have other accent, and for example, they say crazy, and I think that is like crazy. Am I right? Yeah,
Correct.
yeah. So they have other pronunciation, so I don't understand them very much.
It takes time to get the different dialects and accents from different
Yeah,
regions and demographic groups in America because we're such a very diverse country. And
What
that's of
yeah,
course one
accent
of our
do
strengths.
you recommend?
I'm
yeah.
sorry?
What accent do you recommend?
What accent? Uh, I mean, I don't think it's necessarily my place to argue one accent is better than another.
Excuse me.
Oh.
So you have to practice with
Each region has its own characteristic about accents.
Diego, could you repeat that, sir?
Yes, I guess it's because each region, I guess, in the United States has its own accent, its own characteristic. I guess. I mean, cultural things.
That's right. In fact, even this dialect I'm speaking with right now is kind of my teacher voice. My everyday conversational dial accent is very different from the voice I'm using right now. To be
Yeah.
honest,
Try it with
Yes.
Irish people.
uh, I'm sorry.
Try to speak with Irish people.
Like Irish people? No, I'm a Texan, so I actually have kind of a Western accent, believe it or not.
Yes, and my ex-English teacher, he lived in Texas for about 2 years, and it's very different.
Yeah, so my normal speaking voice sounds more okay. I'll share.
That was
Hi,
it
how
is
are
very
y'all doing? My name's Matthew. Welcome to the great state of Texas. I'll tell you what. What are you doing today? I'm gonna go out yonder over there. Blah blah blah. It's the typical because our dialect is a mixture of English and Spanish because Mexican dialect influence. So
This,
Oh
my
yeah.
so
It's the
but
same. It's the same in the people who speak Spanish. For example, Brenda has an accent. Liz has another accent. I have another accent, and that's yeah. So I think we have to learn. No, we have to practice with people from another countries because we don't only have to talk with people only from U.S. We have to talk with another people from another
Australians,
Oh
country.
yeah, that's
that's
true.
Irish,
right. That's right. We have
Australians
to
are
talk
really
with as many.
weird.
So I really, really like to talk with people from the United Kingdom, British.
Oh my
Mm.
I
God,
really
I
like
like to
the
drink
accent.
Popovuta.
Even I have to admit, even I do sometimes because their accent is very unique as compared to Americans. I think
Yeah.
so.
Because,
Yeah,
for example,
I
water
don't like.
in English and in British is water.
Yes, I would like a glass of water, please.
Yeah.
what do you mean?
Yes.
Sorry,
It's better for me.
what do you mean it's unique?
Oh, it just sounds unique
You know,
to me by
Don't.
comparison. That's all.
I think okay. I hear people from United Kingdom who wants to learn Spanish, they have a Spanish accent, but the people who wants to learn Spanish in US has Latin American accent.
That's right. For example, my Spanish is Mexican. Is
Yeah.
Mexican American. For example, I don't use vosotros form. I don't say estáis or
Estáis.
corazón. I say
Yeah.
corazón.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a friend from England,
Perfecto.
and he speaks like a Spanish.
Yeah, like when I always I like the Spanish accent though because it sounds so gentle, but it sounds also kind of
Ellos hablan como así.
sounds like
Yeah,
Arrastrando
you
las
got
heces.
it.
I just like that I like the word heart with a Spanish accent, corazón.
Corazón.
For me,
Corazón.
for me, it's difficult. Sometimes it's difficult to understand people from Spain. So because they speak so fast, and people from Cuba, the Cubans speak
Yep.
so
Yes,
fast.
definitely. And even it's not just us Spanish and English speaking people. When I lived in Korea, there's a huge difference between South Korean language and North Korean language.
Sorry, is there any country that you didn't live in yet? Because
Not Africa yet, but I would like to eventually.
Yeah.
That would be lovely. Salim, you should go. How about you and me? We're going to take your son, and we're going to go, and your wife, and we'll just make one gigantic expedition to North Africa or South Africa. Why not? Let's just do it. Let's go to the middle of the desert.
I would love it. Yeah.
That's
Hi.
Without water.
Whoops. You know what? Liz. You're an environmental law person. That do you understand that? Do you want me to die? I guess so. I don't know what to think about that. Tú rompiste mi corazón.
What do you? You broke my heart.
You broke my heart because
What
you
do
want
you
me to go. You broke my heart because you want me to go to the desert without any water and die.
Oh.
I'm just saying because you want to go to the desert.
I guess it wouldn't be
I'm
such
just
a good
kidding.
idea to go to the desert and die.
This topic is getting very dark. Let's go ahead and return back to the original topic here. So, important life moments. And you know, all of these decisions we've talked about, from Tim choosing his major to Elbruz, experiencing army life, to Brenda returning back to college, Larzan not living with his sister. There's all these different choices, and we can never go back in time. Of course, there's no time machine. We can't change it. But one thing I do see that's a common theme with everybody is, I think it's a very mature thing, is everybody's kind of accepted their choice, whether we believe we were right or wrong, and we just decided to move on with it. In fact, for example, Rebecca says that, Matthew, you don't say that you broke my heart. You should say, me dejaste tirada.
What?
She says, me
No sé
dejaste
It
tirada.
depends on the
Dejaste tirada.
country.
¿Qué parte dicen esto?
Me dejaste tirada.
Oh man,
Ah,
I've
en
never heard that.
No,
Acá
I
lo
hear
usamos.
that.
Yo no lo uso.
It depends on the country, because in Costa
Yeah.
Rica, we have some kinds of expressions in a province, and another province doesn't have its expression.
Yeah.
For example,
She says-
over here we say "pura vida." How Brenda, as Brenda told me in the last class. So "pura vida" doesn't have meaning. It's only, I don't know what is the meaning.
That's okay. There's different meanings and
Yeah.
expressions like that we use in Texas that you would never use in California, for example. So, if I say I'm going, like, if I'm speaking to another Texas person, I would not say, "Hi, I'm going to go do something. I'm going to go fix my car." No, I would say I'm fixing to.
You type it.
Fixing to. It's the same thing as I am going to do.
Oh, really?
I'm fixing to go get my car.
Is
I
it
think
a
that
phrasal
you are
verb?
lazy because you are reduce the expression. I mean, fixing to.
Fixing to? No, it
Yeah, I
means
mean,
I'm
you
a
are so
very
lazy because you don't want to speak
and
the whole word.
on the contrary, Liz, it means I'm a very hard worker who wants to use only a little time to speak so I can spend more time working,
Oh, okay, that is other thing.
if you say so. But that's one thing I love about English. It has so many different accents, so many different dialects,
It's
so
like in
many
Portuguese.
different expressions. It's a living language. It's alive.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
in Portuguese. There are different accents here. If you are in the southern part of Brazil, we have a way of speaking, and if you go to the northern part, it's totally different. It's totally different.
I think so, and that's one thing that makes language such an interesting topic. I mean, I know we have some new people in here, and I appreciate you guys coming in at the last minute. And one thing that I love is that we're here learning about different languages and cultures,
Yes.
but eh, eh, one of the great things about it is
What?
its language is constantly changing, and you
Yes.
never can 100% know any language. Even I don't 100% know every possible English combination there is. It's not possible.
Yes, because there are many different combinations.
Yes, absolutely. So I mean, I really like. I just want to say that when this is my last class for the evening, and I was really trying to figure out or decide what our topic would be for tonight. Um, and I was thinking about important life decisions just because lately these days I was reflecting on my own, making the decision to leave the classroom temporarily to come home and fight in Texas politics. And Texas politics is kind of rough, if you can imagine.
Oh my God.
Maybe you can. uh, and even nicer that we won. Got a good man elected into the Congress, and he'll be a good congresista. And I
Yeah.
really lately these days I really reflect on this in my head, that my life a year ago I never would expect this turn of
That is gonna
events.
be good.
Well, it was memorable. Before when I die, there will be a good memory. I think so. One last question is, and again, I really appreciate everybody being so honest and sharing their important life decisions. From Tim really explaining about his feelings about college, to Brenda telling us about her father, Diego and El Bruce explaining everything. Larazan explaining he really didn't want to move in with his sister, so it's okay. And Christian, I do want to ask him a question. He says, "How many years do you consider is necessary to catch an accent from a particular state?" I think you'd have to live in America for a long time. But for example, I knew some of my friends who lived here maybe 5 years, and they were speaking like a native Texan. So maybe if that's good or bad, I'm not sure. It depends on your opinion. But at this point, our time is up. Guys, this was a fantastic class. I've tried to experiment a lot with funny topics because I like to joke around, and also serious
Yeah.
topics.
To sing a little bit.
I like your
Uh,
class.
Yeah, I really enjoyed your
The
class
last
so much.
class because you sang a song. I think. Well, two songs.
Yeah. Okay. Here.
Was
Would you
pretty
guys,
awesome.
before we go, would you guys like me to sing one song before we go to bed for the evening? Is that okay?
Not again. We
No.
Yeah.
already saw.
We are the world. We are the
Just
children.
say no.
No. How about this? How about this? How about this? It's a Christmas song because I get in the Christmas mood so easily.
Better watch out. You better not cry. Better
Not that one.
not
Not that one.
rise.
I'm gonna sing one. No, I'm gonna sing one that's gonna make all of you sleepy. It's called Silent Night. You guys know this one, right?
Holy night.
Holy night. Yeah, come on.
Continue.
I don't know that song.
Oh, okay. It's this. Silent night. Holy night, all is calm,
What a good
all
voice.
is bright.
Oh man, I think that I'm going
Yon
to watch
Virgin
TV right now.
Mother and Child, Holy Infant, so tender and mild,
In the
Pura
Spanish,
por
I mean.
sleep
coherence.
in heavenly peace. Sleep in heavenly peace. Oh look, Brenda is so asleep she fell asleep on her keyboard.
I'm falling asleep.
Okay, guys, have a good evening. There are
You
plenty
too.
of classes tomorrow throughout the day from many teachers, including myself. I believe some grammar classes, business classes, comedy classes from me, of course. Teacher April is going to be back on. I love her classes, especially as much as everybody else. So please try and experience your English learning with not just me, but every single teacher you can here, because we all have different approaches, we all have different styles. So please take your time to visit every one of them, and I will see you next time. Have a good evening, everybody.
Thank you.
Okay, you
You.
too.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you
Thank you,
for
thank you.
everything.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Hasta
Good night.
luego.